Hi everyone, this is Jenny at DeFi Mum, and today we are back in Compound where we have been supplying some tokens before, and we've also been borrowing some, and today we are going to pay back our loan. So with me I've got my husband.
Hello.
To help me, guide me, as I am just learning about these things, completely new to me. So you talk us through it. What are we doing?
Yeah, so exactly as you said, this is the third video sort of in this little mini series we're doing with Compound. And Compound is a DeFi app running on the Ethereum blockchain. So we have logged in to Compound using MetaMask, which is the most popular wallet, Ethereum wallet, which is the way you interact with Ethereum blockchain. It's a Chrome extension, so you get that from the Google extension store for Chrome.
So just we haven't done any videos of this, but if you wanted to just learn how to get a MetaMask and stuff, there are plenty of those videos out there, are there?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm sure we'll do one at some point as well. But yeah, so what you can see here, this is the kind of the dashboard for Compound, and Compound is really what I call at least a kind of like a savings and loans sort of DeFi dApp. It's kind of actually fairly straightforward compared to a lot of DeFi dApps now. You on one side you have some tokens. So these are the only tokens that you can supply, and you lock those tokens into the Compound dApp, into actually the smart contract, the code that runs on Ethereum, and then you can borrow a percentage of that on the other side.
So we supplied some DAI. That was the first thing we did.
So we supplied 14.61 DAI tokens, which is a stable coin. So one DAI is always designed to be worth $1. So you can see that's roughly the case. Currently we're earning almost 6% interest on that DAI.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on this side, you can see it says borrow limit. So the maximum we can borrow is $10.98. So we can't borrow $14.64 because that would mean we've borrowed exactly what we've put in. So they always have what they call a kind of it's like a sort of margin, a safety margin, really kind of built in. So the maximum we could have borrowed is 10.98, but we actually borrowed a small amount. We just borrowed $7.30 worth, and we actually borrowed this in ETH. So ETH is the kind of underlying currency of Ethereum. So that's what we borrowed, and we're actually paying interest at 2.6% on this ETH. So really, we just did this as an experiment.
But that's just the interest rate that's there today. It was a different one.
Yeah, it changes all the time. Yeah.
Hour to hour, does it change it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's variable. So obviously this is an experiment, so we're using tiny amounts of token value just to kind of start to understand how these things work. This isn't something you would normally do. But obviously, at some point, a debt has to be paid back, and particularly for some of these, the value you're paying back might be going up, and also for some of these things, we borrowed this in ETH. So since we borrowed it, the price of ETH has gone down a little bit. But if the price of ETH went up, then potentially the dollar value that we owed would go up as well.
Yeah.
And if the dollar value got more than the dollar value here, then potentially we could get what's called liquidated. So our collateral they take away our supply to pay back our loan automatically. So we don't want that to happen, even with a small amount. So what we're going to do, we're going to pay it back. So we're going to click here, and we can see here, if we want to, we could borrow a bit more, because we've only borrowed 67% of what we could borrow. So we could borrow like another bit more, but obviously we're going to repay. So we're going to repay, and we could don't repay it all.
Yeah.
But we're going to repay it all. So we can see here we borrowed 0.006 ETH.
Yeah.
And we're paying back this bit here is the interest. Okay, so in this particular case, and in most DeFi dApps, you pay back the interest in the same token that you borrowed. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There is some other types of DeFi dApps where they actually have a token, and like an interest token. So you would pay back in that case. You would pay back the tokens that you borrowed, and then you have to pay back the interest in this other token.
Right.
But that's how DAI works. But we're not going into all that sort of detail. So you can see this is the rate that we're borrowing. Interestingly, because Compound has its own token called Comp, which we'll look at again in a bit. actually, I think this, I have to say, I'm not entirely sure on this. I think this means we're actually earning some comp tokens, because whenever you use compound, you actually get some comp tokens. So it's kind of this slightly weird thing where we're borrowing the money at this rate, but we're actually earning comp tokens at this rate.
And that happened when we borrowed as well.
Yeah, so yeah,
we earned some...
when we supplied, you mean? Yeah. When we put money in.
Last time.
Yeah.
When we actually borrowed.
Yeah.
ETH.
Yeah.
Did we also then get
yes,
some?
So this is what this is. This is the distribution that we're getting. So we borrowed some money.
Yeah.
And the interest is going up on that, but we're also getting money back for this compound thing. So this is why it's different from a bank. Doesn't really, in a bank you borrow money and you pay back interest. They don't kind of give you like a bonus at the same time. So this is like a slightly new thing that you get with blockchain, and this is because compound has its own token, and this compound token is given to people to encourage them to use comp, as opposed to use compound as opposed to potentially a different competing product.
And so that's yield farming then, or is
yes.
that
yes,
good. That's what we've been through before. Good thing I'm learning something then.
Good. So we're going to repay this. So obviously we need to have that amount of ETH in our wallet. So we can see here it's actually saying we've got this amount of ETH in our wallet, so that's fine. We can repay that. Obviously, again, with everything on the Ethereum blockchain, we're going to pay a gas fee. A gas fee is just you're paying to get your transaction saved onto the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah.
And because we're doing these very small amounts, the gas prices are always very expensive.
Have you checked them?
I haven't checked them today, so it might be really crazy expensive. But let's see what happens. So we're going to try and repay this. So this is it's quite expensive, $17, but let's just pay it off. I don't really bothered. So at the moment you can see here, so we're paying $7.39. That's the loan we took out.
Yeah.
And to interact with the Ethereum blockchain, it's going to cost us. It's saying $18. I mean, this is a maximum. So in normal cases, you wouldn't pay this at all. But because one, we're doing a video and it's experimental, and two, because I just want to get this kind of paid off in case I forget.
Yeah.
And that's how my brain works. We're just going to pay that. So it's always the kind of problem when you're doing demonstration videos with these very small amounts. It just seems like, are these people insane?
Yeah.
But obviously, one of the reasons that we do show these small amounts is we don't have a lot of money, but we're interested in this sort of stuff, and two, we definitely want to not be encouraging people that this is something you should be spending loads of money on, and it's really easy to make money.
And there is a lot of satisfaction in the process of learning this stuff and just experimenting to then be confident to maybe do it with bigger amounts of money if you ever get to that stage. But even if you don't, I mean, it's...
And I generally think that most of the people who, when the people get into blockchain, there are some definite, aggressive trader types who just like, stick in $100,000. There are those kind of alpha male types who do it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the more thoughtful people, no matter what gender they are, you talk to people who make these DeFi dApps and they say, you launch something and you kind of see people putting in $10, $100.
Has that gone through now?
It's gone through now, yeah.
Good.
So you kind of see people putting in small amounts. And they go through the process, they put the money in, they take it out to their bank account, check it all works.
Yeah.
And when they're happy it works, then they put in $10,000. So this is what we're doing.
Very sensible.
Yeah, exactly. So now you can see, it doesn't look like anything very exciting, but basically this borrow side has gone.
Yeah.
So that's gone down to zero. So interestingly, if you saw here, so our net interest rate has gone down. So I think it was 11 something %.
Right.
Because we were earning comp because we borrowed money.
Yeah.
So that's gone down again. But basically now we just have our DAI sitting here earning. And here, this is where we see, this is not great UI, I don't think, but this is where you click to see your comp balance. So we can see here at the moment we've earned 0.0002 effectively comp tokens. And a comp token is currently worth this $189.56.
And that's 0.04 there.
So we have
how much it actually is.
Yeah, so when you times that by that, we've earned 4 cents.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, the issue is we have to claim this. So there's another gas fee associated with claiming that. So we're losing money, on the gas fees all the time. But as we've explained, that's just the way of our experiment being set up. So
that's how you go about then to pay back a loan in compound.
Yeah.
If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to post it in the comments, and we'll be very happy to answer. And thank you very much, and see you next time.